Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning back into Aaron Meets World. My name's Aaron, and in this episode I am going to be talking about your build your own droid, which you can get at the Droid Depot in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So this guy on its own cost $100, and then you get to pick out the parts and pick your colors. You can choose between a BB-8 type unit and an R2-D2 type unit, although there are a bunch of other head types, so that even if you do get kind of the cylindrical R2 body, it does not have to look exactly like R2. And you can get purple, you can get blue, you can get black, you can get red. And they even had like some clear dome with orange or blue colors. I decided to go for something that made you think of R2 but wasn't exactly like R2. And then I also got changeable white front plates. Those were separate. This initially came with blue. Geez, how much was that? Probably like 15-20 bucks. I got thrusters that you can put on the side, so he has his jets like R2 has in the prequels. That was probably also like $15 to $25, something like that. And then he comes with a remote control, so he's basically a glorified RC car, so you can go forward, back, left and right. This red section you push back and forth and it moves his head. And then you have his speaking. And he has a few different phrases, and if you end up buying one of their personality chips, which is also extra, I think that was also around like 25 bucks. I did not do that. It gives them a new sound font so they can sound like a completely different droid, and you can choose between Resistance, First Order, and Smuggler. So you have 3 different sound fonts you can get for the BB units and the R units. And then this extra button right here sets off the extra accessory, so if I had the thrusters attached, it would make the little fire and flashlight and sound like it's setting off his little rocket thrusters. So as far as his functionality being worth the money, stuff like that, I feel like your mileage will vary. I also did pick up the backpack, so you can walk around with him on your back, with him on, and they do interact with other droids and vehicles in the park, where suddenly he'll start randomly talking, and then the other droids will start talking, and they'll kind of have a little chatter back and forth for like 30 seconds or something like that, and you'll go, oh, that's cool. Or you might trigger some secret things around the park as you're walking around. But as far as his value, especially if you're comparing it to like the build your own lightsabers, I don't feel like his value is as good as your build your own lightsabers or some of the other things in the park. It really depends on how much you're going to be using it. If it's for a kid and they're going to be playing with it, then I feel like you're getting more value out of it. As far as adult collectors going to, try everything there is in the park, I don't know. When I first bought it, I was like bouncing between a little bit of buyer's remorse and thinking, oh yeah, it's kind of cool, but as far as what it does, it's hard to justify the $100 price tag when it probably should be more like $50 for what it does. It's still a cool experience. It's definitely something you can only get in Galaxy's Edge, especially if you get ones that are more customized than this. Like my stepson got a black and red one, although it's all dirty and banged up because that's what happens to all his stuff. But your mileage will vary. I'm not sure I would go and buy another one of these just because I haven't really done anything with it since I got home. It was cool to carry it around the park and kind of feel like you're part of that club that has all of the Galaxy's Edge merchandise. But for the value, for an adult, I don't know if it's got a high quality enough look for me to want to set it in the middle of a bunch of collector's items compared to other items you could get. Like I have the Hot Toys R2-D2, and even though it's much smaller, it looks much better than this one does. It looks much more high-end, as you would expect. So it's going to be up to you. But as far as like what it does, and I probably already overlaid some clips of me driving it around. But yeah, your mileage will vary. It really depends. You're going to want to think about it for yourself. I'm not sure I would get another one of these though. But as far as what it does what it does well, and it's a nice experience. I'd say probably geared more towards the kids' experience, though. While the build your own lightsabers, as much as you think, oh, all of those things are kid experiences, that is more of an adult experience, an adult fan experience, based off of the price alone, but also off of the quality of the product. The quality of the build your own lightsabers and all of the lightsabers, the legacy lightsabers included in the park, are much higher than what you get off of the Droid. One other thing I want to note is, yeah, I did pick up the backpack so you can walk around in the park with it. It was about $40 for the backpack. But once you get home from the park, and if you're going multiple days, are you going to be carrying your Droid back in? I don't know if you're going to do that. I didn't, because I was picking up so much stuff. It didn't make sense to carry him back in. But once you get out of the park, there's really no use for this backpack, the $40 backpack. So, I mean, I picked it up because it was the deluxe way to carry him around, and I did that for a couple hours after I had him before I went back to the hotel. But once you get home, there's no reason to have this backpack because you're probably not bringing your Droid anywhere. Unless you live near Galaxy's Edge and you are bringing him back into the park for whatever reasons. But I don't recommend getting the backpack. The $40 I don't think is worth the money. Anyways, if you have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments. Please give me a like, please share, please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.